Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. Welcome to the Board of Elections. Am I on? Good morning, and welcome to the Board of Elections meeting. I will note at the outset that proper notice has been given as required by the Ohio Revised Code. The first item for us to consider is approval of the May 13th, 2025 meeting minutes.
I'll move approval of the board meeting minutes from the May 13th meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Next, we have discussion of the May 6, 2025 primary special election anomaly report. Director Poland.
Yes, good morning. The anomaly report is in your packet. There are two voters listed on this report. Both of these voters appeared on the first day of early voting, April 8th, at our early vote center to vote. And then both of these voters went to their assigned polling place on Election Day to cast another ballot. I spoke with both of these voters. Both of them believe that it was two separate elections. It was almost a month's period of time that had passed. The initial voter came to the board on the 8th with the intent to just update her address. And so she was told she could vote at that time if she wanted to. It was the first time she had ever voted early, so she was confused about the process. The second individual, when he went to his polling place, the poll workers could not confirm that his ballot was counted. As you know, that information doesn't appear in the electronic poll book. It simply indicates that that they had requested a ballot, not whether or not it was counted at that time. Again, the deputy director and I spoke about this. We don't think there was an intent from either one of these voters to have two ballots counted in the election.
And just to clarify, Director Poland, in fact, that was the case, that only one ballot was counted for each voter.
That's correct.
Thank you. I have nothing further on those. I'm satisfied with their conclusion of the investigation.
I would concur with that assessment. Anything else from Mr. Mallory and Mr. Gerhardt?
Nothing further.
Okay, we'll move on. Next item on our agenda is discussion of the May 6, 2025 primary/special election audit results.
Yes, a copy of that report is also in your packet. If you recall, staff audited State Issue 2, the contest for the City of Cincinnati Mayor primary, as well as the Issue 11, Princeton School District Tax Levy. Our bipartisan teams hand counted a total of 1,450 ballots and compared those to the electronic official count, and we had a 0% error rate. So the hand count matched the electronic results. There's no need for approval. We just would like to report these results to the board.
So again, what happens here, so anyone watching publicly knows, we hand count the ballots from a select number of precincts and compare them to the actual tabulated results in the machine.
That's
And we found
correct.
0 mistakes, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. That always is good to know. Thank you for the report. I have nothing else, Mr. Chairman.
Nothing further.
All right. Thank you. And we'll move on to item number 6, which is certification of November 4th, 2025 general election municipal judicial candidate petitions. Director Poland.
Yes, a list of those candidates that filed for the judicial contest for the May election are in your packet. The report is entitled Judicial Candidates Sufficient. Staff reviewed those petitions and found them all to be sufficient and recommend certification.
I'll move certification of the judicial candidates who have a sufficient number of signatures.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Next, we have certification of the November 4th, 2025 general election independent candidate petitions.
Yes, there are 3 reports in your packet related to the filing of independent independent candidate petitions. The first is entitled Independent Candidates List Sufficient. Staff reviewed the petitions of all the candidates contained on this list and found those to be sufficient and recommend certification.
I'll move certification of those candidates listed on that report that says independent candidates list sufficient.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
The next document in your packet is entitled 2025 Independent Candidates List Filed Insufficient. There's one candidate listed on this report. This candidate's petition did not contain the required number of valid signatures. The requirement is 25 valid signatures. After staff review, we found there to be only 18 valid signatures. So this petition is insufficient. Staff does not recommend certification.
So this is for the Village of Cleves, that one? Just to be
Yes,
clear.
yes,
Very good.
Village
Okay.
of Cleves.
I'll move that we reject that petition as having an insufficient number of signatures for purposes of making the ballot.
I second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
The last document in your packet regarding independent candidate petition filings is entitled Filed Board Review. There is one candidate from the Village of Lockland contained on this report. We also supplied a copy of the petition in your packet. There were two irregularities on this petition. The first is on the one page of the petition. The second part petition, the name of the county was left blank. The other defect is in the statement of candidacy section on both pages of the petition. It was signed and dated by the candidate after the signatures of the electors who had signed the petition. We have a copy of the Secretary of State's election official manual in your packet, page 377, which speaks to the candidate's signature and whether or not that the statement needs to be signed by the candidate prior to circulating the petitions. It is a requirement. The EOM notes that the question of whether the prospective candidate signed the statement of candidacy before the petition was circulated is a question of fact for the members of the Board of Elections to decide.
So this is a fatal flaw, right?
We have always treated it as such. The absence of the county is not something that is critical to the election, but the signature of the candidate here is dated the same day the petition was filed.
Okay.
Before we entertain a motion, I believe the candidate is here. Mr. Hammond, would you like to approach and address the board? And if you could state your name and for the court reporter, gotta hit the button.
My name's Felix J. Hammonds. Okay, I didn't realize I forgot to put down the word Hamilton on that one page for county. Okay, and I forgot, I accidentally wrote down the day's date came in. And I know I made a mistake by doing that, putting the day's date. I turned the paperwork in.
Is there anything else you want to share with the board?
And I would like to run for the Village of Lockland because that's my goal.
Okay, thank you.
I think Mr. Mallory asked the right question of council. The lack of the word Hamilton, we've, for many years that I've been on this board, those have passed muster as substantially
That's correct,
compliant.
yeah.
But
As
the
long as
other
the
part
village is
petition that is dated, the statement of candidacy is dated before the signature gathering, which again, just traditionally is, it's unfortunate, candidly, Mr. Hammonds. I feel bad for you because I know you have the best intentions here, but these rules exist for a reason. We're duty bound to follow them. So in this case, I've left but no choice here but to move to reject the petition.
And also, this would not prohibit him from filing as a write-in candidate.
Oh, yeah, you could
which
always do that.
The deadline is later.
You could file as a writing candidate, yeah. So that's my motion.
I second it.
And I just want to say, I agree that this is one of those times where the law ties our hands, and there's really nothing we can do. With this kind of defect means that the petition must be rejected. So, is there any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Okay, moving on. We have item number 8, resolution authorizing execution of an electronic poll book contract.
Yes, our current contract for electronic poll books is soon expiring. Staff would like to enter into an agreement with 10X Software Solutions for electronic poll books and enter in this contract using the state of Ohio contract. So the state went out to bid, I believe, a year or two ago, and we are permitted to purchase based off of that state contract. So this resolution would allow the deputy director and I to enter into an agreement with approval of the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office for a 5-year contract with 10X.
That's who we've been with, right? Just kind of a continuation.
That's correct. We've been with them for 10 years.
Yeah, we were there from the beginning. I remember that one.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I think they've done great work for us. So I have no problem moving to adopt resolution number 25-004.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item number 9, resolution authorizing execution of an amendment to 10X election desk agreement.
Yes, we have a current contract for our voter registration management system. This contract is also with 10X. We would like to add to that a module called 10X University. It's a poll worker online training module. It was not included in our original contract. There was another module called Election Link that was included in the suite that we had purchased a few years ago. 10X has agreed to allow us to exchange the Election Link module for 10X University at no additional cost. We do not currently have a need for the Election Link module, as those services are already provided with our website vendor.
That's great. I mean, that we have the option to add this new module with no additional cost to the taxpayer. So, good job, Director Poland and Deputy Director Burgos.
This is totally separate from the poll books, right?
That's
just an additional product offered by 10X.
That's correct.
Yeah, so there's no online connection to the poll books or anything like that? It's
No.
Totally separate.
No, this
Right.
would allow, we for years, we've had a online refresher course for poll workers. So after they take their in-person class, if they want to refresh on certain subject matters of training, they can do that.
That's great. I agree with Mr. Linzer. So I'll move adoption of resolution number 25-005.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Okay. Is there any other business, Director, for the board?
No, not from staff.
Okay. I see we have more members in the audience than usual. Is there anybody who would like to address the board today? Of course, Kenny from the Secretary of State's office.
Good morning, Kenny Henning with the Ohio Secretary of State's office. I just wanted to say great job on your May 6 audit. The boards in Southwest Ohio are wrapping those up. I have one final one today in Highland County, and then they will be done. Just wanted to also share that Director Poland and Deputy Director Burgos, you're doing a great job. We appreciate everything that you're doing by leading your team and helping neighboring counties when they have inquiries come in on the text channels that we have with them. We're looking forward to the conference on June 30th and July 1st. And in regards to the statewide petitions that are being circulated, I don't have much to share other than, as we know, the filing deadline is July 2nd. After we bring those in and process them, we will ship them out to the county boards of elections. But the campaigns have not let us know dates or times in which they plan to file. So it's really a wait and see right now. But if I have an update, I obviously will let the director and deputy director know so they can plan accordingly with staff for the week after the July 4th holiday. But that's all I have for you right now. If we get an update, I will share it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny.
Thanks, Kenny.
I may have been out of the loop on this, but whatever happened to the Black Fork? Were they ever prosecuted? Anything ever happened with that?
What's your name?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's Catherine Collette.
Director Poland, do you have a response to that question?
Yes, it's my understanding that an investigation is being conducted.
It's still ongoing?
Yes.
Okay. Just cool.
Okay. Appears that there is nothing else but to come before the board, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All discussion, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.